Sorry about that. Smoking a little bit of weed got me coughing. By the way, there's nothing wrong with smoking weed. Don't let your pastors and priests tell you that smoking natural plants there's something wrong with it. Um, I wanted to get into this because I got a lot of people, especially on Facebook. Family, if you're on my Facebook, my name is Lawrence Payton on Facebook. If you'll go check that out. If y'all want to get in the comments and argue with some of these fools or just share some memes or troll them, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? If y'all look at later on, I'll put the link to my Facebook at the bottom of this video because they're getting in my comments saying things like, you're lying about Europeans and this and that. Anyone can Google this. Europeans colonized roughly 80% of the world. That's why they're everywhere. I'm not trying to be racist, guys. I just, like I share on Truth Social, so I'm on Truth Social, and people are like, "This isn't true," and I'm like, "How could you call your platform Truth Social?" And then I share the truth, and then nobody wants to hear that. But see, that's how the world works. There's selective truth in the world. What's up, fam? See you joining the chat.
Yeah, we've been like fully booked basically since like last Thursday. Really?
So
Well, last
right
week was
now,
like Border Fest.
I'm in
Someone
Jamesburg.
in here tonight said that they were originally at the DoubleTree, but the DoubleTree's watering.
Oh, that's weird. Anyway,
The DoubleTree ain't owned by the people who own this place, so that business is
I came to Harrisburg, and I'm up here for a job. And if y'all notice, between where I share and if I share the location, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm in Jamesburg actually, and you'll notice if I flip this camera around, y'all see all these old buildings with all these fancy adornments. This one, look at those windows. Look at those windows. I mean, not the ones on the bottom. Look up top. They just bricked that up. That's all re-bricking. Now, these cities are supposed to be some of the newest cities on the entire planet. But when you go through them, all you see is ruins. If you're really paying attention, if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, right? But everybody in this world plays dumb. So they usually get in my comments and they're doing it on, they don't really usually do it on YouTube. They usually want to argue with me on Facebook. And they want to, try to cover us with mockery and make fun of us. And they don't understand that this constant disrespect of the Most High and His people and their lands is going to lead to their ultimate destruction. Because really, really, we're blessing people with truth. I don't have to say anything. I could just shh and watch all this shit come. And when you're like, is everything good? I could be like, yeah, everything's good, and smile in your face. And then we could just like, one day when it's go time, just go, and you wouldn't see it coming. And that's what a lot of y'all want, because y'all don't want the truth. There's a scripture that says like, you know, what is it? He handed the people over to a strong delusion so that they may believe a lie. And I seen Mordiel on his channel, if y'all know his channel, play that from somebody. I don't know where he got it from, but I wish I had it, because that girl went off. She went off. She started telling him, like, you getting in my comments, and it's the same thing I be saying in my comments. You getting in my comments, you saying I'm lying. What's good, family? You getting in my comments, you saying I'm lying, and that's all you saying. But when I want facts, here you go, quoting George Washington, and I'm like, the guy that was pulling slave teeth out and putting them in his mouth, that guy. And now whenever I start to bring up the history of these people and how they glorify themselves as gods and deities, and they've been represented as these deities, even in society in these ancient buildings where they put statues up of them. What's good? What's good? Where they put statues up of them and worship these founding fathers like they're freaking gods and men, and they claim they built all these cities. And then you come into these cities and you see the town halls, and there's palaces and Greco-Roman style castles and all these old Victorian buildings, and you're like, no way, they're industrial brick building. And then none of it's asymmetrical, because we know, and if y'all know, to read the sealed portion of the Book of Mormon. What's up? Hi, family. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I've never been hateful. People want to say I'm hateful. I've never been hateful. I'm just honest. And when you get honest with people that want to live a lie and want to live fantasies and still want to believe this fantasy of all this fantasy America stuff, like we just threw up these cities overnight. We just came down to Salt Lake City and threw up this temple overnight with horses and carriages and buggies. And then you're like, No, what happened is you guys have destroyed the saints of the Most High. You've worn out the saints of the Most High, like it says in the book of, I believe, Daniel, right? What they came and they changed the laws, the times, the dates, the directions, and they made war with the people of the Most High. And now the olive branch is still being extended to y'all because if the Most High really wanted to, them two storms would be nothing, guys. Trust me. Trust me. This country has a lot of things that could go bad, and it has before. That's why most of these cities, when you start seeing them, the mud flood conspiracy, and they're digging out cities in the 1800s, is because our ancestors from various different nations that inhabited this land were tweaking and wilding, and the Most High judged them. And that's how y'all rose to power. And now you're in that situation. And it's going to be even worse for you guys because you're not, he didn't promise to, he didn't make no covenant to not completely destroy you guys. You see what I'm saying? That's why it talks about all the house of Esau, there should be none remaining. And a lot of them people be the Native Americans. Really, really, because if y'all look at the book Chino Slaves in Colonial Mexico, right? You'll notice that the Catholic Church in the 1500s started a slave trade where they were bringing people from the Philippines and Asia over here to the Americas. And those people were being brought in and abused as slaves, and then they gave them vassal status. So if they would adhere to the church, just like it is today, those people don't be understanding what I'm saying either, because all of them people took deal. Their ancestors took deals. You know what I'm saying? They took the bait. And now at this time when the Most High is sending his spirit, he's not going to send the spirit to them to help them understand. So they're in my comments scoffing and laughing. And the funny part is it's only going to be worse for them. They're the ones moving off of lies. You know what I'm saying? And they don't question anything. Like I said in my last live, how are black people and white people the two largest racial groups in all of the Americas? And when you be looking at it, it really be like all of the Americas. How? If we came from Africa, where are the Native Americans? They're all on the reservation. That's ridiculous. Look how much land this is. You should see those people everywhere, but you don't, because they can't just clone a bunch of people like that real quick. I mean, there is cloning, but they can't do that. And this is why. They have to have a whole fake narrative, and now it's all crashing down. And wait till the winter comes. You guys think that the stuff that happened in this year with the natural disasters is bad? Wait till the winter comes, bro. Wait till the winter comes. It's going to be bad, bro. And then all the holidays, watch, after all the holidays or before the holidays, there's always going to be these major natural disasters or upheavals, because the Most High said he's going to put the sword in the land. You know what I mean? Like, he don't play that shit. He brings destruction. And, you know, because people always want to say God's a God of love, and I always get Christians telling me God's a God of love. And I'm like, I understand that God loves. I understand that. But you act like it's all love. And no matter what you do, it's all love. That's what they act like. I'm like, wait. So, murdering and genociding an entire continent of people to possess their land and hanging them from trees and pretending like that wasn't us. Like, think about what I'm saying. Look up Native Americans, like historical photos of that happening to Native Americans, anything like that. You won't find it. You won't find it, but you can find historical photos of thousands of lynchings because it was circulated in the American Post. And if it was being circulated through the American Post system, why the hell would you do that to your own livestock? Just think about this. You have livestock. What's up, family? Welcome to the chat. You have livestock, right? And you just spent a bag bringing all these people over from Africa, right? Not that long ago at that time. Why the hell would you be then hunting them down and exterminating them? Why would there be like, oh, let me just hang this slave from a tree and send it to my cousin in the post? And that's why there's so many historic pictures, because you go into people's houses, that's what's there. You know, people be like, this is racist, that's racist. Well, I don't know what to tell you guys, bro. Because if me talking about it is racist, then what is it happening have to be about it, and what does you not wanting to talk about it have to say about that? You are CJ. What are you talking about? Hello, CJ. That's crazy. Anyway, when you start to look at the history and you start to go into these little books and writings and stuff, that's why they took the Internet Archive down. Right now, there's another site down that people were using that I didn't even know about until people started complaining about that going down after they put the Internet Archive back up. And you know, they call that the Wayback Machine, right? Because you can find a lot of stuff that's been archived on there. And that's the problem they're having. You see, they can't Mandela affect anything if people are actually archiving and AI can search and find particular things, and all this technology they tried to use to hypnotize you is not working against them. I mean, it's working for some people because some people are basic. Like, you can ask the AI something like, I don't know, when did the slave trade begin in the world? And it'll take you right to Africa. It won't tell you that Columbus started the transatlantic slave trade when he came to America. And literally, he started. If the transatlantic slave trade is a slave trade between the Americas and the other part of the world, then Columbus started it. Because when he came to the Americas, he was capturing Native Americans everywhere and selling them in Seville and other places, and then the Spanish continued that practice. And then around the same time, the same Spanish under the Catholic Church and their edicts and their uh, incommuni- incommunions, I don't know how to say that, uh, their chattel slavery system, right? They brought all that stuff in, and they were bringing other people in, and they were putting them through it. And then that's when everybody started saying, oh, we're just going to do this to them because they're skin and it's easy to identify them. You know what I mean? But that's because of things that was written in the book. And now that's all coming to an end. Watch. You Americans in America keep playing around and keep making fun of this stuff. And you keep, because watch what it's going to be. And I said that in my last video last year, and it definitely did happen to him. Yeah, is the pride is a, yep, pride is that sin that they, and that's what it is. It's all the pride of the, bro. There's so much pride in what you believe, and there's so much patriotism pushed, and people don't understand that there was something better here before you showed up here, and set up this government, and allowed you yourselves to be controlled by this thing, allowed yourselves to be taught hateful ideology, and people be like, oh, what is hate? Because people say, and people do throw hate around and mislabel it, but I'm saying, if you destroyed a people and took a land, and y'all know that whether y'all want to say it's us or not, even though we're the second largest population in America. I mean, you gotta come on. That's just come on, like come on. And we're supposed to be brought here on slave ships. Come on, make it make sense in your own head. The indigenous people are 2% of the population, and the government keeps them hidden away. Like I walked around all day and I didn't see one of those people. You got to put together in your own head. And y'all know I've been showing y'all on the channel that this is the biblical promised land. Like, why do y'all think they be having all these monuments and things and all these weird things put up and all these Freemason groups and all these secret societies based around America? The Goodfellas, all these, the Rosicrucian groups, the Jesuits, all these secret societies. The Catholic Church has a Lucifer telescope set up in the Americas, and you know what? Because there's a guy named Leo Zagami. And I've been on his channel. I watch what he says, and the dude definitely knows, because I've seen some clips of him doing some things that only someone who knew America was the Holy Land could ever even give a head nod to. And he didn't say it out his mouth because all them people are Jesuits. They took an oath of silence. All these people are silent. And look, so he says this himself out his mouth. On that mountain that the Lucifer telescope is on, there is a rumor amongst the Native American tribes of that area, which, you know, if they're the people they say they are, they took our culture and traditions and customs, and they won the land lotteries when we were getting kicked off of our land and removed and stuff like that. And that's who they are, right? There's a rumor amongst them in that area where that mountain is, if you look it up, that if any blood from this creature ever makes it back to this mountain, then the creature would get up again. Now, We know that these jades and crystals, and if y'all know about the Mud Fossil University, definitely subscribe to his channel, and you'll understand what I'm talking about because it's hard. But they find these jade crystals and these giant like crystallized things and fossilized trees and shit like that, and the dude is telling you like this is straight blood from a massive creature that bled out, and whatever happened to him afterwards, it was instantly like Medusa, like, and this is the real truth that fossilization can happen like that, just like that. That's why you got things like the London Hammer and other things like that. Look up the London Hammer, and it's London, Texas too. All this stuff is revolving around America. That's why we have giant fossilized trees and I forget what they call it, bro. America has a bunch of beautiful sites, and these people can't put that in their head that you're in the biblical promised land. And because of that, and the non-appreciation of him or his of one, God's laws, two, his people, because they got us to labor for them. They still don't appreciate that. We labor every day, and we shouldn't be laboring. Nobody should labor here if this is your land and you're indigenous to it. And then you look up, and all these motherfuckers from Europe own everything. And then you're supposed to think that's fair. And if I don't think that's fair, I'm a racist. But we didn't come to your land and slaughter you and take that shit over. Can people be fair in this country, or we just, you know what I mean? Like, I know you might not like the channel, and if you don't like that kind of talk, get the hell out of here, because don't come in here to learn about the research that comes from me and our people and all the research we do and we did and put this together, and then you like that when I present it in a way that doesn't tell you the truth about you slaughtering and murdering people, and while you have what you have, and then now you offended. Now you offended. Now you want to just unsubscribe, get out of here. That's the truth. Get out of here if you don't like it. Like, I don't know what else to tell you, bro. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, I don't, like, for real, like, I could lose subscribers, bro. It's okay, because I only need a specialized group of people. Yeah, that's the problem. Like, it's different if they took over and, yeah, they might have did some horrible things in the beginning, but they took over and they ran a super great society and it was great. But they can't even see that it's only great for the people who've taken the bag. Like, it's only great for y'all. All of y'all in power and owning businesses and successful in the world. And then you tell me if I don't follow that image, which is the image of the beast, that capitalism that gets your money, and they don't even care how you get it. That's why you got motherfuckers selling children out here. Like, what? They don't even care how you get it, bro. And that's the problem with the world. Then people be like, he smokes weed, or he cursed, or he just keeps talking about racism. And I'm like, yeah, bro, because it's deeper. Like, colonialism is really what I talk about. It's really, really what I talk about. But y'all not, like, most of them don't be smart enough to understand that I'm really talking about colonialism, because they're already racist, and they already labeled me an African in their head and in their school systems, and then that's what their racist ancestors did. So now, now, it doesn't matter what I say, because they got something stuck in their head. But they forgot that they're the people who genocided the Native Americans, who genocided the Tasmanians in Australia, who genocided the Africans in South Africa, and now own the majority of their land, who genocided the Hawaiians, right? How did America get control of Hawaii? They invaded it, captured the princess, literally, and held the island ransom. Like, then y'all wonder why, like, the first captain that went there got killed, because they wasn't playing with them people, bro. They knew what was going on. And I'm telling you, that was all Lehi's descendants out there. That was all parts of the tribe of Joseph out there. And now they don't even live there no more. Most of them were genocided off, bro. And then also, you'll notice the Catholic Church has something to do with that, and the Mormon Church. So I be arguing with these people too, because they want to talk about how their organizations aren't like that, or how I'm trying to blame all the stuff on them. I'm like, what are you talking about? You can't just spoil a country and then get filthy, stinking rich off of it. And we can't even estimate the wealth that the Americas made for these nations and still makes, because we still pay out all this aid. And then these people can't even figure out that no one is for them. Like, Trump is not for y'all. And Kamala Harris is losing on purpose. Well, I don't get why y'all can't see that. She has no plan. Bro, She's losing on purpose. So they're trying to manipulate you. They want Trump in. They want Trump in because Trump is going to be like, close the border, this and that, and what he's really trying to stop is biblical prophecy. I'm gonna tell y'all, and that's why Trump is bad, bro. Because y'all want to close border, but this is not your land, and y'all forgot that y'all are all immigrants here. All of y'all are immigrants. It doesn't matter if you were born here. Which one of y'all have an ancestral claim to this land besides the Aboriginals of this continent? No matter who you think they are, because we can go down to all the temples in Mexico and see the statues you destroyed, the ones you haven't, the Olmec heads. Some of them people have blown the faces off with dynamite. Like, who does that? Oh yeah, a white person with a drill who hates black people and they hate the truth. So what do? They go and deface an ancient monument, and they have defaced them. They've wiped some of the murals of the Mayans' face clean off. They've sprayed them with bleach to lighten the colors. That's what's going on here. So they just keep defacing things and destroying things. And then even it's deeper than that, because the government does it too. It's not just regular people. It's the government. It's them. They're all Psalms 83. And there's only a few of them that be in the comments like, you right. And I don't even want to hear that. I've been knowing I'm right. I don't need validation from y'all. Y'all out here thinking I'm crazy, and I don't care, because watch. It's no coincidence that you get in back-to-back storms. When does that happen? When does that happen? And they lying about how many people died too, because they're not trying to tell y'all that y'all being judged. And they told y'all how many people are still missing. They're all dead. They're all gone. They're gone, wiped off the face of the earth, because they were all sundown towns, just like this town. And all the towns were built by the rivers, and all the suburbs can be flooded by God. It take them a second to drop enough rain to overflow your sewer systems. I dig holes for a living. Sometimes I'm digging near people's houses, and I dig a hole, and the water table is a couple inches underground. So what does that mean? That means that most of y'all didn't have the sense to build your houses higher up, so the water table wouldn't affect your house. So when your land floods, all them suburbs go underwater. Everything goes underwater, and it happens all the time. It's not the first flood. If you look in Vermont and other places, this year and last year and the year before that, it's just been getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And it's going to be just like the Pharaoh, because remember the Pharaoh was like, man, some frogs, nigga, I'm not afraid of no frogs. I'm not afraid of no frogs. That's not God, nigga. This nigga just got lucky. Oh, and the clips, I'm not afraid of no clips. Y'all all scared. Y'all all lucky. This and that. But the thing is that you've been programmed to think that all this, like, they've been programming you to have scares. Like when they dropped the movie 2012, served two purposes. It told you y'all had 12 years to go until the judgment comes. Until the judgment starts to come, and you can see within this period, since the eclipse in 2017, you had multiple natural disasters hit the whole world. Why would it hit the whole world? Because the whole world is complicit in colonization and spoiling this land and various different parts of this land, whether it be the 50 states or Canada, or, because that's why Canada's burning. Don't forget Canada's burning. And you see the videos of people fleeing in distress and all that stuff. And I'm telling y'all why this is happening to y'all, and y'all don't want to listen, because y'all too proud to even humble yourselves. And y'all gonna bring the full destruction of the Most High upon you. And then whoever's left over is gonna have to serve the people who y'all been oppressing for centuries, who are the Native Americans. And then those people who are Native Americans are gonna get a wake-up call too, because you know how I'd be like, they're the red man? They'd be like, Esau was red. Yeah. And then people be descendants of those people. All right, so if you think I'm invalidated because I smoke weed, get out my chat. Get out my live. If you think that I'm invalidated because of the color of my skin, get out my live. All right? If you think that I'm racist because I told people the truth and what's really happening and what's really written in the scriptures, their ancestors wanted to doctor and you know, what they do, canonize and say this is inspired and this isn't inspired. Like, you would know that. And then it told y'all in the book not to take anything out or you'd be cursed. And that's all their descendants cursed, bro. I'm telling you, that's why all of them people are cursed. They can't understand the truth. They don't even know what land this is. They can't even understand it because they remove stuff from the Bible. They remove Esdras, right? They remove the Apocalypse of Abraham. They call it pseudepigrapha. They call it pseudo, fake. They call it fake. But all that stuff is happening. Where you think all these weird bugs keep popping every year? There's some new plague, some new bug. Now it's the lanternflies are fucking everywhere. They're like, oh, China, it's China's fault. Get out of here. We have been trading with China forever. It's more feasible to believe China genetically engineered them and released them in here than to think that a shipping container got infected with these bugs. No, God makes a command and these fucking things come out from under the ground and then they start pillaging stuff. And people are like killing them. Like, don't kill them. It's a harbinger of death. They're the beautiful flies. They're harbingers of death, bro. It's a sign. It's all signs, and people can't interpret the signs.
Hey, got it?
No. Not him. The bug.
You're definitely the wrong person.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta know thyself. People don't know nothing, bro. People want to act like they know something. People want to be pseudo intellectuals. Let me tell you guys, if I wanted to be a bigger YouTuber, a bigger social media presence, I would make a channel about space travel and about NASA and about all that nonsense they make up. And then and I would make a channel challenging Black Hebrew Israelites, all that stuff. And they're gonna love that. They're gonna love that. And that's what their algorithm pushes. So when you action or inquiries to the AI, they're not gonna put you to me. They can't. They're gonna put on old Pastor John and Bill and all these people, and they're gonna tell you anything they want to hear. They're gonna tell you anything you think they want to hear. They're gonna tell you to pray for forgiveness and pray for love and not to worry about anything. And then one thing they're gonna tell you is not to read for yourself. Or they just don't say it at all. When they ever tell you to read the Bible for yourself, never. It's always like, come here, let me tutor you in Sunday school and tell you what your own book is about. Like, come here. No, you didn't just read prepare slaughter for their children for the iniquities of their father. You didn't just read that. You read Jesus forgives and loves everybody. That's what you just read. That's what that means. And that's what they be, I'll be blowing they shit when I share that, bro, because they be trying to like share all this shit. I'm like, this is what's going to happen to y'all, bro. And Facebook can't really do nothing to me, and YouTube can't really do nothing to me because I'm sharing a scripture. So, people know. Prepare slaughter for their children for the iniquities of their fathers, that they do not rise or possess the land. And I'm not saying I'm slaughtering nobody. I'm saying that a bunch of people died when them 2 hurricanes came by, and the news is keeping it on the DL. And the government not even going out there and helping people. It's really on TikTok. It's really all on TikTok. If y'all go to Big Judah's channel, y'all can find links back to the TikTok where he's showing them Jones. It's really on TikTok. You know why? Because the government done gave all the money away to foreigners. And then y'all voting for Trump because you think Trump's going to do something about that. And no, it's the last hurrah. It's over. It's over for everything except for us. And y'all better get right with God and the people of this land, bro. Y'all Gentiles, y'all heathens, because God was just preparing to slaughter the kingdoms of Idumea, and Idumea is a kingdom of the world. That's why they colonized 80% of the world. I looked that up. Europeans colonized 80% of the world. Why do y'all think they was always going around? Anywhere they went, there was this religious incommunion system, and then there was this caste system set up after that. Anywhere they went and colonized. And then they're trying to tell you that they were out there spreading the gospel. And that's what they believe. They believe they were fulfilling it by spreading the word all the way around the world. We been did that. That's how y'all had that book to begin with when y'all came here. You had a copy of our book anyway. Because when y'all was over there, y'all got a hold of some of our people, slaughtered them, enslaved them. Then that's how y'all figured out how to get over here to the Americas, because y'all could never come over here. You know what I mean? That's why when Christopher Columbus wrote that book of prophecy, what was he saying in there? What was he saying in there? Everybody was telling him that it was impossible, and he was telling them, no, I can do it. And he was saying, God bless me to do this. And in a way, that is true, because the judgment was coming upon us. You get what I'm saying? A judgment was coming upon us. Now a judgment's coming upon you. And you can't interpret the signs. You, America, you. That's why everything's falling apart. That's why there's all these mass shootings and violence and just evil wickedness running around rampant. You're hearing about your leaders doing horrible, terrible things to children and all kinds of horrible stuff. That's why. That's why. And anyone join with them is going to get that too. Because that's what y'all deserve. You know what I'm saying? That judgment is going to be swift. And it's going to be, bro. And y'all lucky the Most High is merciful. Because if he was not merciful, like y'all be trying to say the God of the Old Testament is no, because he waits a long time before he does anything. God is merciful. So when vengeance and all that stuff comes and judgment comes, it's always in whirlwinds and storms and tempests and hail. And I showed y'all that in the videos I showed you. If y'all read the scriptures, you understand what's really going on. And the government is telling you the climate is changing. What kind of shit is that? Pay a tax. Carbon tax. And carbon is a life-giving gas. Carbon is toxic to humans, yeah, to breathe carbon, but you're also made of carbon, and carbon is trees breathe it. So there's a carbon cycle. And so that all that science they say and all these scientists getting together and having a consensus is bullshit. They can't even get scientists to agree that the sky is blue. Let me get 7 of them in a room right now. Let's debate. We could debate anything, bro. It's never a consensus. And anything they say is a theory. The Big Bang Theory, that's a theory. The theory of evolution, that's a theory. Gravity is still a theory. They haven't proven gravity. They just say that shit. They haven't proven nothing. They don't understand anything about the world. They just tell you they do. So you're out here thinking, oh, the law of conservation of energy. So Tesla doesn't need an alternator. Why the fuck wouldn't a Tesla have an alternator? Oh, cause you still want me to plug to my house, which gets its power from fossil fuels. And all this is about is making fossil fuels such a high commodity that nobody can afford it, and they're telling you this and that and giving money to Tesla to make these vehicles that are not even efficient, and you can't even keep them because the batteries are freaking deadly. Like, and they don't last that long. It's like a cell phone battery. It's lithium ion. It's like a cell phone battery. You know that after a while, you got to buy a new cell phone because your battery died. Them cars is going to be the same thing. And then they catch on fire like that, and the government's funding that nonsense, and they're so heavy the guardrails can't even stop them. That shit will plow right through a guardrail. That shit is not safe. But why are they funding that? Because they want to make fossil fuel such a commodity that they gouge you for, and I'm telling you, they're trying to have a dystopian future. It's the movie it's the plot for Elysium. They've already done a lot of that. You just don't know. You just don't know that there's a cure for this and a cure for that. You just don't know. But God knows, and that's why he's bringing judgment. Because he's tired of the indifference to the suffering of the man by the elite. And he's tired of the wickedness by the general public that lets it continue. Because it really is wickedness by the general public. The only reason why the elite can run and do that is because there's no congregation of righteous people. They destroyed the congregation of righteous people. See what I'm saying? And now we criminals. Now we are criminals in their eyes. And if we say, hey, wait a minute, maybe you're lying. Maybe your history's a lie. Maybe you want to manipulate me into giving you my birthright again. And that's really what it is. It's manipulation into giving up your birthright. And they've manipulated black people for so long that I got black people coming in my comments and telling me that we're not Israelites, we're indigenous, but Israel's over there, because they don't do even research, bro. I don't even know how these people, because they be coming in my comments just saying anything. And they be coming in my live saying anything. I be on TikTok going live too. HHBM on TikTok. They'll say anything. They have to because their history is a lie. And because their history is a lie, it's like this. At the end of the day, the truth is gonna win. You might have you might have killed the messenger and the guy who told you the truth, but the consequences of that truth not being recognized is gonna come to you regardless. And that's how God works. So like there's a Johnny Cash song, and that's why I be saying some white people understand. He has lots of soul. So I don't think he wrote his own music, but you know that song? You can run on for a long time. Sooner or later, God's going to cut you down. Well, this nation's hitting its period. It was 400 years of oppression that God told Abraham in Genesis. People want to say it's about Egypt, but they sojourned in Egypt for like 80 years, and then they were oppressed for the rest of the years after the death of Joseph. But people don't research nothing, so they say that's about Egypt. No, it's not about Egypt. Right now, we're in Egypt, right? So, okay, so it's about Egypt, just not Egypt in the time you think it is, or where you think it is. That Egypt over there don't even make no sense. Like, how could you get lost between Israel and Egypt for 40 years? Think about that. If you go between Egypt and Israel and follow the ocean, either way, you're going to hit civilization, according to them, if you just look at that map and what they claim was there in ancient times. So how could a million people at least get lost between Israel and the Middle East for 40 years? You can't. So when they stop making a fake Israel and a fake Middle East, and they admit that this is the place, then maybe these natural disasters won't destroy everything. And I keep telling people everything has been destroyed before. Why we got these buildings half buried? None of that makes sense. Look at that. Look at that. I went to a building the other day, and I looked in the gutter, and there was a window it was like one of these 12-foot window, bro. A 12-foot window all the way in the gutter on the side of a building. And then they gonna tell you that freaking George Washington and William Penn did all that. Get out of here. If you had horse and buggies, you're not building this. You're not building that. And you're not building that and then gonna brick up the other windows later. If y'all really look, you could clearly see that these are supposed to be the newest cities in the world. Because America is only about 400 years old, and they're claiming that Europe is older. And why we got all these buildings that are been repurposed and halfway underground? It's all a lie. Everything you believe is a lie. All of history is a lie. And this is not y'all land. And there's two big populations in America. And the two biggest populations is white people and black people. And white people came from Europe. So who are the indigenous people of America? Black people. Where is Egypt? America. Where's the Euphrates? The Mississippi. Everyone knows even Mississippi means great river. So everybody is confused, and God is going to destroy all this shit except for us, because they stole the land and enslaved us and wrote us out of history, in our own history, and destroyed everything. And that's what's going on. That's why when you see all them towns getting hit in the South, look back 2021, 2022, and 2023. Look at all these natural disasters that hit America. Look at all the towns they got hit, and then look up the histories of those towns, and you'll understand that this has been happening since 2017, actually. But people don't understand that. All these towns going to be wiped away, and they was wiped away before. They was buried. Everything was buried here. Everything was buried. They're still digging stuff up. When you go to a side of a building, they all got step-up porches and ramps. That don't even make no sense that you would build a building that's completely asymmetrical. That's completely asymmetrical at the top, and on the ground floor, you were just like, fuck it. And I do construction, so I know that's dumb as hell. That obviously, that's not the ground floor. That's like the second floor of every building. Then you come here, and this shit is like on the ground floor. This shit here is on the ground floor, down the hill. Boom. So if you took an excavator, and people have done this in New York, and y'all seen the pictures, look up mud flood New York, mud flood Chicago, mud flood anywhere that's a city made out of red brick. like America, and you'll figure out that all this stuff is buried underground. I went to Philadelphia the other day, and I was checking out the art museum. Y'all know I made that video about the art museum, and dolomite, it has a Mohs hardness of like 3.5. It's impossible like to cut in the 1800s, at least cut into intricate shapes like that and do pillars. And matter of fact, them things are so massive, it's impossible to stand them up without cranes. This is all the old world. We all live in the old world here. So when y'all think about any culture, that's why they keep finding all these out of place artifacts in America. Bro, they found ancient Japanese in America. They found all this stuff because this is the old world, and all them cultures, everything came from here, and they be lying about everything. And all history's a lie. And they just want to manipulate you so they could keep your birthright, because this land is not theirs. And that's what it's hardcore manipulation too, because why do you think like your grandparents can tell most of y'all that you're Shinnecock, and then they got this guy who's a mulatto telling you, they put some dude who's a mulatto like, oh, you're the head of African American research. Here's a PhD. Where's his information coming from? Oh, Europeans, right? Then I go to Europe. We go to the British Museum, right? What's there? Oh, you go in, you make an appointment, because you got to make an appointment to see these kind of things. And I'm going to see if I can pull it up on my screen and let y'all see it. I'm trying to see. I don't really know how to do that. No, those are effects. Yeah, if I was on my laptop, I could probably do it. But if I pulled it up, y'all know that emblem of America, and they got it on the British Museum. You go down to certain museums, and they got the Native Americans right there. All of them were black people. Bro, that's the truth. That's why if you brought us from Africa, we would not outnumber the Native Americans, and we would also not be the second largest racial group in America. And that's not just America, because go to Canada, go to the Caribbean, go to Mexico, go anywhere, and you're gonna see these people. But we're talking about the transatlantic slave trade, and we're talking about a boat of 100 people. You might get 10 that survive those conditions, and then we're talking about going from like 4 million people to 44 million people in like 400 years. It's not even possible. And it's 400 years of destruction of people, because if you look up historical lynching pictures, I'm telling y'all, you could scroll for forever. So if they were doing that, we definitely weren't brought here as like a cattle or anything like that. That's nonsense. That is nonsense. And if I'm a capitalist, and I know about capitalism, so if I'm a capitalist, I'm not going to Africa to get no damn slaves. And if they make Native American slavery illegal, then y'all niggas is now Africans. That's exactly what happened, because we all know Native American slavery came first. And then when they made that shit illegal, what they do? Now y'all all Africans. And the census records prove it. I could prove it. I'm making a video right now, but the only thing is they took down the Internet Archives, bro, recently. So it's like, it really set me back, because I could point out figures in my history that are like, you know, got references to old newspaper clippings and were selling tobacco. And then if you look at the old like newspaper clippings of the tobacco Indians, when the Indians were actually selling tobacco, all those old clippings and articles and illustrations they had back in the day, bro, they look like midnight. They look like that fucking New York truck license plate right there, John. That's what they look like. You can't even see their face. Y'all know what happens if y'all in the dark and you smile. And then that's what it is. Like, all the history is a lie, bro. And this is your homeland. And you always been here. Always, always. And this is where everything started. And they lying about everything. And American history is a lie. And it's all Eurocentric worldview. And that's why 80% of the world was colonized by Europeans. And that's what the Bible's talking about when it says, oh, the wicked were given power over the fourth part of the earth. And what they do when they got that power? They raped, they murdered, they robbed, and now nobody knows nothing. And now the Most High is requiring blood, and he's sending storms and tornadoes, and the government's like, the climate's changing, everybody needs to pay us a tax. And because y'all are idiots. Y'all are idiots, and y'all like, they're controlling the weather. They're controlling, no, read the Bible, you idiots. Okay, so you had 5 tornadoes touch down in Florida with a hurricane. That's not normal. and it was a back-to-back hurricane. That's not normal. None of that is normal. But look, that's where everybody goes to retire and live it up, and they murder the Seminole. Where the Seminole at? Where are all the Seminole? Gone. That's why Florida got hit like that, because all that blood is required, bro, and that's what's written in the scriptures. They've been like, Jesus, well, Jesus was black, and the Bible says he had skin of bronze and hair of wool, and the skin of bronze is if it burns in the furnace. That was put in there. So if you burn something, what is that? Black. He was black. He was black, and they know that, and they make up a fake Jesus and a fake history and a fake land, and they pay millions of dollars to these fake people. And that's how it works. And America's built all on lies. And anyone who tells you anything different is a damn liar. And they're a damn racist. Because y'all want to deny the truth. But explain to me, what does it profit for you to kill off a workforce you brought into the country? I know, Turkey got hit with earthquakes, natural disasters, Spain. Yo, they're all getting rocked, bro. Yeah, and they can't even stand the heat. That's what's going on, bro. It's the apocalypse of Abraham. And he said he was going to burn them with fire. Bro. And look, they show you this in the movie The Book of Eli. First they show you, if you look this up, there's a poster on the wall that says this is the year 2024, right in the movie. Right? There's a poster. It says this is the year 2024. Right in that movie, The Book of Eli, there's a poster. It says 2024. Because they knew. You add 12 years to 2012, what do you get? 2024? Right? Right? And I'm telling y'all, it's going to be this year. It's going to be like a crazy natural disaster. Probably like when they're chilling, when they think it's all good. Because he said he was going to come like a thief in the night. So his judgments come like a thief in the night. But you'll know, bro. And pay attention to your animals, bro. Oh, yeah, and I can't verify the validity of this, but I believe it was among ancient Jewish culture that if you placed 4 candles at the 4 corners of your house during an earthquake, your house would stay intact. I don't remember where I read that at, but I did read that when I was looking up Jewish mysticism, ancient Jewish mysticism. Because they want to tell you like you're a witchcraft practicer or something like that, but no. Read your Bible, because a lot of times they were talking about astrology, and the Bible says do not be dismayed at the stars, and dismayed means scared. So like they've been using astrology and astronomy and all these mystical sciences along with all these worldly sciences they tell us about to their full extent. And it's not all of them, but they're scientists, they're people. That's why the TV is like a frequency box. It tunes you. You're being programmed, you know what I mean? Television programming, all that good stuff, right? And what they show you, what did Disney show you? Disney showed y'all what Indians looked like, right? And we know Walt Disney was a crazy racist and an anti-Semite. But those people weren't really claiming to be Semites over there at that time, now were they? That was before World War II, wasn't it? That's before that Israel existed. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then they were putting out all this imagery and photos and various different things. And that's what's going on. And the world's over. Their world. And we're going to be free. Like really free. Because, let me see here. It's cold as shit out that bitch. See, and in the east, it got cold really, really quick, man. I'm trying to figure out, because... There we go. In the east, it got really, really cold really, really quick, man. Really, really quick. And I'm telling y'all, the winter's not going to be good for anybody here. Wait till the winter comes. All that Christmas shit is going to be gone. That's all Saturnalia. If you look up the Roman customs, they exactly match the American holidays. Saturnalia. the worship of the devil, disguised as a Jewish tradition, Christianized and anglicized. And after doing all that, you can't then pretend you give a rat's ass about what's written in the Bible or what the scripture says. So I'm just gonna put my phone down and I just can't put my finger on it. And I always wanted to get people in my chat, but people don't want to usually come on. I believe there's a button to request to come on. But if you guys wanted to come on, I believe I could like start a poll. I ain't want to do that. See, I don't understand how all that stuff works really good. But I try to keep my lives interesting a little bit. But it's like, what else do we talk about? Like, I know I'm right. I know I'm right. Yeah, they keep saying it's HARP and stuff like that. Like, the HARP technology was built to try to stave off all this stuff. They been knew it was coming. Look up what Admiral Byrd saw when he went to the North Pole. Look it up, because he was talking about a sophisticated race of people, and he said race of people. He didn't say beings. He said race of people living at the North Pole with highly sophisticated technology, who were like concerned about one. I believe that he didn't tell us everything. I'm actually gonna buy his book, and because I have read it on the Internet Archives, but I haven't read the whole thing. But it was very interesting. You gotta check out Admiral Byrd, bro, because really, I'm telling y'all, all that Agartha things, and that's all the North Pole. Like, they tell you it's all frozen, and no, it's not. That's why the maps are like they are. One, Europeans love to bolster Africa. Now you think they're trying to downsize Africa or place Europe above Africa, but no, it's not about that. It's about these people play a sick game, man, and it's like problem, reaction, solution every time. They created this whole Africa dilemma and Africa problem when they stopped calling the Americas Africa and started calling, because a lot of these old writings, if you really understand them properly, when in the 1800s and 1700s and 1500s, when you're getting writings referring to Africa, they're actually talking about the Americas. Like, a lot of them will say sailing to Africa. All right, well, you could sail to Africa from Europe if you understand today. Yes, you could. But that's not what they were doing. They're sailing to the Americas. When they hear about all that animal hunting and stuff like that, like, look at the zoos in America. Why do we have 30 zoos full of African animals? I know I'm probably blowing y'all shit with this live. You know what I'm saying? Why do we have 30 zoos with African animals everywhere? Does that make any sense, guys? Like, think about it. Like, really think about it. I lived in New Jersey my whole life. I've been to places where there's wildlife reserves. Six Flags is like a wildlife reserve. There's other places with African animals. Just in New Jersey, the Philadelphia Zoo is supposed to be the oldest zoo in America. And they're supposed to have stocked that with African animals really early. Like, where you getting a fucking zebra from? You telling me that George Washington and them, people like that, fucking got a zebra onto a boat? Or an elephant? Hell no. With no anesthesia, no nothing. They just did that. And then, like, they're claiming their ancestors are Superman. I'm asking like regular people how
did. Like I'm gonna be outside the Philadelphia Art Museum in like a week. I'm gonna be action again. I'm gonna get this like on camera this time. How did I'm gonna ask the people inside how was this built? When was it built? I'm gonna look for signs of warfare. One, because we know that a lot of these cities had upheavals, and the history they give to Philadelphia and Europe and Turkey is really here. So you know how they be like, Noah's Ark landed on Mount Arad, and that's in Turkey, bro. Turkeys are from America, bro, and Turkey is really the ancient Turkey is really here. So when you think about the East Coast and all that, that's where, if they were gonna call it Turkey, that's where modern day Turkey would be. So the Appalachians is actually where Noah's Ark landed. When people want to know that kind of stuff, I have been doing research into it. Um, there's a couple government facilities up there, and that's where they would have it. I don't think they pulled unsophisticated technology off that ark. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. They pulled some pretty sophisticated technology off that ark. So when they're talking about Shangri-La and all that stuff, and Asia and all that stuff, they're talking about the East Coast over here. That's why the book of Revelation says the seven churches that are in Asia, and then that's why you have all these Greek and Greco-Roman style structures, and then all these cities that match up and down the East Coast, even into Canada. And then look, on Oak Island in Nova Scotia, I don't know if you ever watched that History Channel thing, Treasure Hunters, but I used to love the History Channel before I realized that I could do better. I could just I could do better investigation of history from my computer because you're trying to lie to me. You know, you're trying to make everything a mystery when you know the damn truth. Nova Scotia, Canada, when they were trying to get into that thing looking for treasure, people have died trying to go into that hole, that massive hole they got on Oak Island. They found in there Roman artifacts, Roman swords, some jewelry, things like that. They're trying to say, oh, the Romans visited North America. They found Vulcan artifacts up there on the East Coast in Canada. They're trying to say, oh, the Vikings visited North America. Right. If you guys check out Kudameo Aul's channel, the Vikings were actually the ancient Danites, the tribe of Dan. I'm telling you, they whitewash history. A lot of these ancient people have the ancient DNA, and then they tell you that we have the oldest DNA on the planet. That's because we've been here, bro. The Vikings, like, all these places be going under different names at certain times, but the Vikings really were crossing between, like, Greenland, Europe, the islands over there, and over here. That's where all that Norse legend comes from. They've been knew about America. They suppress history. How much books you think the Catholic Church burned? How many books you think the Catholic Church burned? And now they spent one part of the century going through the world burning books, destroying culture, especially of dark-skinned people. Like, and then the next era to try and teach you and setting up missions and all this stuff. And we know those missions were slave operations. That's why they be finding all them dead children under it. In the modern age, they're tearing these places down and all those insane asylums they were putting people in. How many insane people were there? Look at all those insane asylums in America. I lived in Trenton, New Jersey. We have one. Up here in PA, they have a state hospital that's an insane asylum. All Tartarian type castles, like some Dracula shit. How many insane people could you have in one country, in one state, that you need all these insane asylums? Of course, now you know that there weren't any insane asylums, and there weren't that many insane people. One, eugenics was being practiced. And to let y'all know, if y'all taking any products that come from a company with the name genetics, you can just translate that to eugenics because that's what it means. It doesn't mean genetics; it means eugenics. They all changed their names to from eugenics to genetics when all that stuff with Hitler went down. That's where Hitler learned it from. He was in line with all these corporations and all these people and all that stuff. He just got double crossed. If I tell you the truth, he just got double crossed. Hitler got double crossed. You can look it up. He even plotted to kidnap the Pope. Why would Hitler plot to kidnap the Pope? He didn't plot to kidnap the president. He did not plot to kidnap the president. No, he did not. He did plot to kidnap the Pope. Why? Why does the president go and kiss the Pope's ring? Somebody got offended because I reposted one of Clutamato's Aul's videos, which he reposted. But I reposted it on my Facebook. And it talks about how Trump's a Zionist and Kamala Harris is a Zionist, and you really don't have a choice. And people are really being fooled by this because they're like, Kamala's policies is terrible. Of course, there's no way her policies are that terrible. No, nobody wants an open border, but that's how they make Donald Trump look good. Because, yeah, it seems like he's fighting for you. And he called for the death of any illegal that kills a migrant. They're going to be calling us illegal soon. Watch. No, they really don't want us around. I got people telling me their comments are being deleted. I'm like, I know. I know. It's the end of the world, guys. I'm gonna let y'all go, family, because I kind of just been dragging it out. Shalom. Look for more detailed content being released. I really got into that whole animal thing in my next video. Because that animal thing goes deep and it really exposes them. Especially when they're claiming like creatures evolved in North America, went extinct, and then popped back up here somehow when Europeans showed up. But I gotta get some Z's because I get to work early.